Well, my colleague Francis Kuo sat down recently with Joel Brandenberger. He's the president and CEO of the National Turkey Federation right here in Washington. And he talked about how China developed a palate for turkey.
In 2008, the China market began to grow dramatically for U.S. turkey producers. There was some other type of swine disease, not the one that we have now, and turkey was originally brought in as a substitute for pork in certain further processed deli meat type of formulations. One of our staff members went over to sort of help with that. China quickly grew to become our second largest export market behind Mexico. At our height in 2013, it was about $71 million worth of turkey we were exporting there. It was down a little bit the following year, but then the China market closed to us in the wake of the bird flu outbreak in 2015, and it reopened all of last week for us, and that's great news for our members. We do expect sales will increase again rapidly there. I think it's pretty clear the country's developed a taste for the product, at least in certain formulations.
What do you attribute that to be, the fact that China has kind of turned their taste towards turkey? Because again, it's not a traditional thing that they normally eat.
It has a very unique taste, but it's also really adaptable to different seasoning formulations, which is why it's also popular in Mexico and Latin America, as I just mentioned. It can adapt to a lot of cuisines, and it is a good healthy alternative to some other meats in some product formulations.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And we see a lot of people in China celebrating more Western U.S. holidays and traditions. Do you think that also plays a part in this growing popularity there? You know,
I've learned how much Thanksgiving has grown in China. We were with China reopening to us. We were actually trying to get our ambassador a turkey in time for Thanksgiving. Not quite enough time with the way the ban was lifted, but that's when we began to learn how much Thanksgiving is being celebrated compared to, say, 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm. And what are your collaborations with China in terms of exposing people in China more to the turkey, the market, and helping them develop a taste for the poultry?
Prior to the ban, we had a sister organization that would periodically go into China and hold cooking demonstrations for food service and retail to show how turkey could be used. I mentioned the trade mission in 2008 to show how it could be used, and I think those things have begun to develop a taste over there, and hopefully we'll get back to doing that very soon.
Last week, China lifted the 5-year import ban on U.S. poultry. So how do you see that? How has that been a catalyst to increasing the turkey demand in China?
We think it'll be very significant. The Chinese government moved very quickly, and we're very appreciative of this, to get everything they needed posted so our members could prepare to ship. Our government is now working with our members to get some other paperwork completed. We think very soon some turkeys could be shipped to China. We think that there's a great market opportunity there, and obviously we're hopeful that our two governments can get a resolution on the tariffs as well, which will only help further. So.
Mm-hmm. And as you know, the swine fever outbreak has
Yes.
really hurt the pork industry. Do you see that sort of as an opportunity to kind of fill that gap?
Well, we don't wish something like African swine fever on anyone, but yes, that's how China originally opened a market to us, was another swine disease. I do think when African swine fever ends, I think it'll still be a very strong market for pork as well, but hopefully we'll have regained some customers. Mm-hmm. It's really one of the most dynamic markets that we've dealt with. I mean, it expanded so quickly. And the product was adapted so many different ways over there. It's why we've got such optimism about how it'll go as we move forward.